Welcome to Cartomancy Mesquite. I'm Angela. Hi, Tabitha. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to just go over some of the things when you see cards together, like how do you know if it's when your death cards comes up, how do you know whether it's an actual death of a person or a thing? And then I have a few other things like that I want to go over. Because I believe, knowing what you're reading in the cards takes all the fear out of the cards. And it generally does. It's not a big deal. Okay, let me see if I can find that. First, I'm going to need the Ace of Spades. Okay, that's our death card. When it's right side up, like this, as you're looking at it, it says death at the top. That's the meaning you're going for, because it's not marked. There's no mark across the A, and it says death here. So that's your death card. Now, if it's meaning an actual physical death of a person, it's going to, number one, have a person there right next to it. Number two, it's going to have other cards. Like, let's see, what do we have? Yeah, it's easy to take the fear out of things. Let me see it. A pleasant surprise is going to be there. Somebody shedding tears. Somebody worried. Maybe even somebody angry. There are a whole lot of things that you can use that you'll see around it. Like fourth, reversed, is somebody in the hospital. And the 5 is a loss. You could have surgery or a doctor. There could have been a fight. That's the fight. But if you're looking at somebody dying, you're going to find a lot of other cards around it. And I definitely expect like loss in hospital and the death card and any person around it. But there's also surgery. If they could have been going through surgery, there'll be tears. There'll be somebody worried. It could be an unpleasant surprise, something you find out suddenly. And then you've got your surgery, loss, hospital, angry, fight. It takes a lot to make it say a real death, an actual physical death of a person. Hi, Hypnicity. Glad you're here. Today I'm going over specific types of events in your readings that could come up. Okay, additionally, let me pull my cheat sheet out because this fic comes up very seldom. So I don't have those memorized anymore. It's been so many decades since I had an actual death show up in my cards. Okay. If you have say you have 2 red 5s, you're going to hear of a man passing. That'll be the death of a man. But if it's anybody close to you, it's also going to have the death card. And it's also going to have a person for it to be an actual death of somebody near you. It could be, you could have the 2 red 5s, or you could have loss, and it could be a relative. It depends on how the cards are laying, but mostly it's 2 5s. 2 red 5s are the news of a man passing, and then here we go. 2 black 6s. 2 black 6s would be the passing of a woman. And again, for it to be somebody close to you, you'd have to have other supporting cards to spell that out, because it doesn't just, you don't just get the death card and say, oh, somebody's going to die. No. The death card can be the death of anything. It can be the final death of a car. Like my 73 Buick Estate wagon. When it finally bit the dust, that's when I got my death card that morning. And my sister was driving it, and the head gasket blew in a fashion that's epic. It's right out of a movie scene. But it was the death of my car. So that's why you need to have, if you're worried about a death, then you want to have a person next to it, so you can identify the person. It literally gets that close. If you have all the sporting cards around it, you're going to have a person if it's a physical death. So you'll know that person. And that is one way to predict a death. Now, a good many of us know a death is coming because we can feel it, hear it, and sometimes see it. There are lots of little clues and omens and quirks that, people have that tell them that these things are going to happen. That's one of them I wanted to go over. Okay. What else did I want to do? Oh, okay. There's one right there. There's going to be a fight. For it to be an all-out brawl, you're going to have the 9 of diamonds, because that's angry. You're going to have anger to go with that fight. Tears probably also. That could be part of it. It could arise out of an accident. Somebody be worried. But for that to be an all-out brawl, like a significant fist fight, knives, guns, that kind of thing, you have to have a lot to support it before you make that prediction. Otherwise, a fight is just like a loud argument, where people get a little more testy than just a normal quarrel. And that's how you'd read a fight. Okay, what else? I'm just going to go through here and go over some of these because it gives you another idea of how things work, how to predict things. Another thing with a fight or an argument, you'd have 2 people facing each other. See the king's faces, how they're looking right at each other? That would come up if you're reading of a real fight. There would be 2 people facing each other. And maybe more people. It depends on how bad that fight is. If the fight's really bad, it's going to be a bunch of people in that reading. But you'd have to have at least 2 facing each other. It's like a face-off, a start of an argument that goes into a fight. And that's how you would read a fight. A real honest to goodness brawl would take all that. So, just getting a card that says there's going to be a fight or an argument, it doesn't really mean anything that harsh until you've got all of that surrounding it. Okay, let's see what else we can go over. Okay, this one would be a love affair. It would be your love affair if you're reading yourself. It would be the querent or the person you're reading for. It would be their affair if it comes up in their reading. And what you would find is for it to be a full-blown love affair and, you know, the tabloid type stuff, you'd have to have two people facing each other, a man and a woman, or, well, it doesn't have to be a man and a woman, but you'd have to have two people facing each other. Now, when it comes to a divorce, you would have the marriage card and two people facing away from each other. A divorce would be two people facing each other, probably a love affair. Maybe the money card, legal issues, drinking and drugs, jealousy. That would be a big one to have in there. That would all support somebody going for a divorce or splitting up. That would make it, more definite. It would say for sure that's what's happening. Because otherwise, if you just have an affair and two people with none of the surrounding other cards to bolster that, what you would assume from here is maybe a one-night stand or somebody you stepped out of their marriage for a minute, as opposed to a full-blown love affair. And, people cheat all the time, but a full-blown love affair, it takes more. So all of the harsh and, all the bad, really bad things hi, Michelle, good to see you. All of the bad readings, that you would get that would, feel like disaster, they take something else to go with them. It takes support. You can't just say, okay, you got the death card, somebody's going to die. That's not going to happen. And you get the affair card, so you can't assume somebody's going to get a divorce. And two people facing away from each other doesn't mean a divorce. No, you have to have all the supporting stuff going with it. Two people facing away from each other or two people that are just facing away from each other. It means they're not communicating. And that's usually what happens in a divorce, but it can also be just, the ordinary everyday things where two people get in a minor quarrel and they, each walk off in a different direction. So they're not communicating right at that moment, but it doesn't mean anything's going to come of it. 10 minutes later, they can walk back up to each other and everything's fine after a minor quarrel. So you don't predict doom and disaster unless you have a whole lot to support it. We don't have a tower card in here, and that I think is part of it. Not, you don't need a tower card. This spells out what that tower moment is going to be. And I think let me see if I can find any more that might come up like that. Okay, a big legal situation would involve the signing of papers. sometimes somebody drinking, legal issues, unpleasant surprise, two or three kings, men in uniform, getting a letter, because you always get letters in legal issues. You'd also probably see a fight in that reading. See, it takes a lot to support a really harsh reading, a really harsh event in a reading. You have to have 4 or 5, maybe 6 cards to really hone in and decide that, yes, that's a death, or yes, that's an all-out brawl, or it's a divorce coming, or like right here, a big legal issue. If you just get the 3 of diamonds, the legal card, that's going to be something quite insignificant. Maybe you'll sign a legal document, like signing a will. If you have that and sign papers, yeah, that could be something as simple as signing a will or signing a legal certificate of some sort. But this is how you get to your big issues. You know, the big full blown, yeah, something's really going to happen with this situation. That's kind of the difference between the tarot and the playing cards. The playing cards give you the details. The tarot gives you the Tower card, so something's coming and it's going to blow up and you don't know what it is. Well, here it tells you exactly what it is. It gives you a lot of detail as to what's going on. But you need a whole lot to support those kind of readings. Okay. Now, that's pretty much the gist of it. I think I've covered it pretty well. And that's kind of what I wanted to accomplish today. So if anybody wants a question or a reading, just put it in the chat and I'll read for you. Because the practice of reading, getting your cards read and reading cards over and over and over again is how you learn. You can learn all the meanings and some of the tricks of the trade. I just thought of one more. That I wanted to go over. Okay. Miss Chica's laying there snoring. I'm sorry if it interferes. Okay. How do you read a pregnancy in the cards? really need to clean up my kitchen right now, but I don't want to. Maybe the cards can inspire me. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. That's why I'm sitting here. My kitchen's a mess right now. Okay, Hypnicity, I've got you. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Michelle Williams. I got you. I got Tabitha. I got Hypnicity. Got you, Tabitha. Hi, Fatima. It's good to see you. Okay, to read a pregnancy, you need to have the 3 queens, each one right above the other, but going diagonally across your reading when you lay the cards out to do the timing. This is how you'll see it. And it might come with, say, news. Of course, everybody's going to want to hear that news. A party, a baby shower. You may come up with a doctor's appointment with it. There's probably going to be a lot of hugging and kissing, but your 3 queens are going to be diagonally across the reading. And that's definitely someone is pregnant. Not that they're going to get pregnant. They are pregnant. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, now I get into your readings. I just wanted to make sure you knew that how to read the pregnancy. And as days go by, I will come up with more of these. And as I keep reading for you guys, to do a reading once in a while, for everybody, you'll start seeing these things come out in the readings. Okay, Hypnicity. A general reading, okay. Okay, someone's going to get married. There's going to be a fight about it, a loud argument. And one of those people is in that relationship is going to need surgery. So that could be the argument. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. But it's not a big deal here. Okay, to start off with, you're going to find out something about a married couple, a dark man, brown hair, and a fair woman. They're going to get some news about something, probably this man right here. It's a young man. They're going to get you news about a young man. They're going to be away from him for additional years apart. They've been apart for a while, but they're going to find out something about him. He is having success. The person you're reading for, well, yeah. You're going to get a letter. It's going to lead to a fight or a loud argument. Someone's getting an unpleasant surprise. It's not your unpleasant surprise, it's someone else's. And you're going to be worried, but don't, because you already know what's happening. You're going to get a kiss. That's probably to help ease that stress. Hi, Teresa. And then you're going to hear of somebody getting surgery. And that's the first pass over to reading. That's what you do first. And then I should have left them down. You pick up the first 5. And then this hones this down to one specific incident here. And that's that you're going to find out about this married couple. Yeah, they're going to get some news. And it's about this young man, the fair young man. I'm sorry, I should have been holding them lower. About the fair young man. But he tends to bring them luck. So they can look for luck from this person. And that's the first 5. Then you pick up the 5th card and the next 4. Because that's going to be another honing down. Okay. You got 2 9s. Okay, we've got that fair young man that brings good luck. We've got additional years apart. He's still going to, here, maybe fold him there. He's going to have additional years apart, but it's because of success. And there's your letter. You're going to get a letter about it. And then you have a fight in your cards too. Somebody around you is going to get in a loud argument. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal because there's nothing in here to support a big deal. I would say the fight is going to be about the news coming in. Okay, and then we pick up, we're going to drill down on, here we're going to drill down on that fight because we pick up the 5th card from those last 5. Okay. Now we have, there's the fight. Yeah, that's, someone's getting an unpleasant surprise. You're going to be worried about it. Someone's going to give you a kiss to make you feel better. And then somebody's getting surgery. It's nothing major because there's nothing to support anything major. It could be as simple as somebody getting their ears pierced. So don't worry about that one. Now this is the timing part is spread. Okay, this young man and the married woman, they're going to have additional years apart, and they're going to find out about it pretty soon. There's something going on in their lives that's going to keep them, apart from each other. You're going to get a letter about a fight. Someone's going to be successful with that fight. It's going to work out. You're going to be worried about an older married man. Oh, he's the one having the surgery, but it's going to be minor because there's nothing to really suggest that it's going to be anything bad. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be an unpleasant surprise. Someone's going to get news about it, but you've got that kiss coming. That kiss is to say, it's all over. Everything's good. You're fine. And he's fine. So don't worry about that. It's going to be a minor thing. With me, it would probably be getting a mole removed, which I do relatively often, but yeah. Yeah, hypnicity. This is specific, very specific. And he's in the hospital with bronchitis and pneumonia. He's going to be fine. Yeah, there's nothing bad in this reading. There's no death card, no big surgery. There's not even the hospital card in here. So he's going to be just fine. That's what I get from this reading, is that he's going to be just fine. So just chill out. It should be all right. Okay? You have to have supporting cards. If you go back and watch the very beginning, I went through a lot of those kind of things about deaths and divorces and different really harsh things that happen in life. And all the supporting cards you have to make it that bad, for a physical death. What are all the supporting cards? You need a lot of support to find it, it happening. And another thing I want to point out here, hypnicity, is that there's no death in these cards. Death card didn't come up. So don't worry about it. He is going to be fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, that rips your heart out. All that stuff hooked up to them. Oh, it really is upsetting. It really is. I agree with you there. So he's going to be okay. Yep. Okay. And next up, we have Tabitha. Okay. Let's see if I can figure that one out with these. These are a little more specific than that. That's more of a tarot reading, but I'll see what I can do with that. It's always fun to try something new. Okay, Tabitha. What does she need to pay attention to in her current path? And yes, I shuffle a lot. I like my cards to be well mixed before I do a reading. Okay, it looks like you're going out of town. Out of town because someone is going to ask you to sign papers. And it's going to make you very happy. That's a good one. I like that for you. I love that. Okay, right off the top here, I can see we have 3 6s. That's a big unpleasant surprise, but we got to see what is going on here before we can say what it is. But I don't see enough bad cards to say it's a big unpleasant surprise. I'm going to have to really go through it to find out what that is. Okay, we have first that you're jealous. And Tabitha, I can't see that. I'm coming in you. You're going to be jealous of someone that thinks a lot of you. You're going to be in a party in someone else's home, and they're going to be announcing a great success. It has to do with their work, with an older man, unmarried. He's going to have to go to the doctors. Someone's going to ask you to borrow money, and they're going to quarrel. They're going to quarrel a little bit, not you. And it's about a relative. The quarrel is going to be about a relative, but there's a pleasant surprise and happiness right next to it. So the quarrel is going to be all about nothing. Oops, here I go again. Trying to do it too fast. Okay, now we pick up the first 5 cards. And we look at those. We have jealous, someone who thinks a lot of you at a party in someone else's home, and it's all about success. You might just have a little bit of a jealous streak about that success, or maybe there's something at the party that you like that you wish you had. But I don't see that jealousy being much of anything, because number one, look at all the red. That's all happiness and success, and a party. That's a happy moment. So don't worry about that little twinge of jealousy. Just brush it off, let it go past. Then you take the last card of that 5 and you pick up the next 4 with it. So that's your next 5 cards to read. That's another element of this. Okay. Someone's going to have some success because of some work you do. And I know that. I do, because I know about your work with that nonprofit. And it's unmarried, older man, dark complected. He's going to be going to the doctor. Well, ding, 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 there you go. But he's going to ask somebody to borrow money. I don't see it being a big deal because there's not much big deal here. He may ask and he may find it somebody to give it to him. He may ask you, but he'll probably go on to somebody else. Okay, then we take that 10 from the last 5. Okay, that 10 is the 10 of hearts, that's the borrowing money, or 10 of diamonds. Then we have a minor quarrel. Someone else is getting into a minor quarrel, not necessarily you, but you'll know about it. Then we have it is a relative. And there's a pleasant surprise and happiness. You've got the nicest cards, Tabitha. So I think what they're saying here is that you are on the right path and that you are seeing what you need to do. And I just realized that major disappointment is you. Don't be disappointed. You're disappointed with something for no reason. If you think something's going wrong, just know that it's going to turn out fine. Because looking at these cards, all that happiness, there's too much happiness in your cards, Tabitha. Don't be disappointed. Well, we've got 2 marked 10s. Something's coming to a completion for that older unmarried man, and there's going to be a party. In fact, you're going to be at that party. You're going to hear about a love affair with your 2 red 6s here. It's probably his. There's too much happiness surrounding him right here. He is going to go to the doctor. It's going to be a pleasant surprise. Yeah, and it's someone who thinks a lot of you. He really does. There's that little bit of jealousy, but you're going to be happy. It's someone else's success. You're going to have a little twinge of jealousy over someone else's success, but you're still going to be happy. You can be jealous and happy at the same time for the same reason. And then you have a relative's going to have a minor quarrel about your work. you're going to just have something snitty to say and just ignore it. There's always people like that around us. There's one in every family, you know. I'm glad, Tabitha. I'm really happy. I haven't read cards this happy in a long time. You're really, really blessed here. Really blessed. Okay. Next up, we have Michelle Williams. Hugs back, Tabitha. All the hugs. Well, that's my high for the day. I'm full of goosebumps now. Okay, Michelle, here we go. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to clear them. We don't want somebody else's reading coming into yours, although I'd love Tabitha's reading to come into mine, but it wouldn't be accurate. But it'd be nice to see. Okay. Okay. It's yes about your wish. You're going to get your wish about something. It's going to require signing papers. And someone's going to shed tears about it. I think somebody's going to be very happy for you. I really do. Okay, first we have there's something close at hand with a fair married woman. Somebody's going to get some news about that person and a fair man. They're going to be successful. Your car is in question. Someone you think a lot of is going to be in an accident. That's kind of starting to tell me something here, but I haven't quite got the story out of it. And then there's a married, dark, older man. And you're coming up with having a love affair. Now, that doesn't mean you step out of marriage or a relationship. It could also mean that your relationship, as you know it right now, is going to kick up a notch. A love affair isn't always, in the cards, isn't always stepping out. You're going to get a call. It's going to be an unpleasant surprise, and someone else is shedding tears about it. So it's not it's not as unpleasant for you as it is for somebody else that you know. And I did that again. I'll tell you, I try to read too fast. Okay. Your first 5 is the close at hand. This thing with this married woman is close at hand. She's going to get news about that older man, and she's going to have success. Her and the older man are going to have success together with whatever is going on with them. Okay, now then we put the 4 of those down. We pick up the 5th card, and we pick up 4 more. Okay, here we go. Someone's going to have success with your car when it breaks down. It's someone you think a lot of is going to help you with that. There's going to be an accident, but it's going to be minor. And this dark man is going to help you out with it. You've got help already on the way. It's not going to be much of anything. You have too much good around here. You have success. There's going to be success with your car. You've got someone who thinks a lot of you, or someone you think a lot of. They're going to help you out. There's your accident, but there's your man helping you right there. It's not a big deal. Oh, this you can get through easily. It's going to be a piece of cake. By the time it's all over, you're going to be saying, wow, that wasn't a problem at all. This kind of reminds me of my recent blowout. I had a tire blowout. And my son-in-law, when it was all done, said, you couldn't have done that better if you tried. How did you get that lucky? Because the tire blew out right in front of Dollar General. I pulled right into the parking lot. They had a air pump there if I'd have needed it, but I didn't because a big old chunk of my tire blew out of it. And I called Scott. He was home. He came over. He took the tire off. He picked it up, threw it in the back of his car. He had money in his pocket, cash, to buy me a new tire. He went and got me a new tire, brought it back, put it on the car, and I went home, and the Dollar General was right around the corner from my house. It's going to be that simple. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. I would just check your gas, check your oil, check your oil, check your antifreeze. Those 3 things will be enough to make sure that it isn't a big disaster. AAA must be your savior. Yeah, okay, those people from a distance can help you too. You'd be surprised what people can do. You're welcome, Michelle. Okay, let's finish your reading because I can see you were getting a little upset about this from the get-go, but nah. It's not going to be much of nothing. Okay, then we pick up the 5th card from that bunch. Okay, there's this older man and you having a love affair. You're going to get a call. It's going to be an unpleasant surprise. And someone else is going to shed tears. Yeah. It's going to be someone else's fiasco here, not yours. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, it's just going to be life. And it's going to be, like I said, it could be just like, it could turn out just like my blowout in my tire. When the tire blew, I knew exactly what it was. Just shrugged my shoulders, turned the corner, called my son-in-law. It was that simple. That's all I had to do. Yep, and keep your boundaries. You can never go wrong by keeping your boundaries. Never. Okay, let's do the timings part of this spread. Yeah, I know. That is a beautiful reading. When you think about it, your big deals aren't going to be big deals for a while. Relax. You've got some chilling time here. Okay, you're going to get a call about your love affair. There's a married man involved, so I think you're going to shove that aside because you think a lot of that person. And I think it's just something that, he might have been interested, but I would steer clear of that. Your accident is with your car, but there's going to be success. Okay. Hi, Mousy. I'm glad you dropped in. You can hear the rest of this great reading. It's a good one. You're welcome, Michelle. Okay, I've got a few more cards here to go through, but we're pretty much done. So your car accident, that's going to be successful. Don't worry about it. This fair older man is going to shed tears about your unpleasant surprise. It's going to break his heart for you. And I don't know why, because it's not that bad of a deal. Or maybe it's because it's not a big deal. Your unpleasant surprise could amount to nothing and he could be laughing and crying at the same time. I do that quite often. And someone's going to get news that's close at hand, and it's a married fair woman. But that's a little ways off. Now, your thing with your car is going to happen within about 30 to 60 days. So it's not tomorrow. Because this row right here is 30. This row is 60. So it's going to be between the 30 and 60 days, because there's your car right there. There you go. Now you even know about when it's going to happen. So this month, put a little money in your pocket. Next month, put a little money in your pocket. You may need it. You may need to buy a tire. Yep. So there you go. Wow, this has picked me up today. Reading cards for y'all has picked me up. Oh yeah, then do that maintenance. Yep. That's what I've been doing to mine. I'm getting it ready because I've got a lot of things coming up. I bought me a present this weekend. For this weekend. It's the Chilton manual for my car. Yep, I'm prepared. So you do that maintenance and you'll be prepared too. Yep. And even if you don't know how to work on cars, The Chilton Manual is always good because it can tell you approximately what's wrong. Yep. It'll give you ideas. And it's especially helpful for the simple little things. Because why pay somebody to do something, when you can do it yourself in a couple of minutes? All right, everybody. We are right at an hour and 1 minute. It's been a great Saturday. I'm glad you joined me. Thank you all. See you soon. Yeah, it's very different than tarot, isn't it? Yep. You're certainly welcome, Michelle. I'll see y'all next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.